Joining us now, and Christina Bobb, Trump attorney, Save America, who is actually at Mar-a-Lago the day it was raided. Ladies, welcome in. Obviously, a lot of cases and a lot of developments. First, your reaction to now Don Jr., Eric, and Ivanka having to come in and testify. Pam, this is obviously what Letitia James wants, but why? I thought Ivanka was cleared and didn't have to come in, and clearly this judge there is ushering her in for, exercising his power and flexing.
Yeah, that's exactly what he's doing. Ivanka is not a defendant, removed from the case. They've kept Don Jr. and Eric involved, but the prosecution, the judge, forcing them to come in and testify is absolutely ridiculous. They're doing it as a harassment technique to go after President Trump. It's not going to stop. They've done this the entire time, and they're not going to say anything that's going to help the judge, who has already determined in his wrong opinion that the president inflated his assets. And something else you just heard as well was that the prosecution, the state, they have hired an expert. They paid $750,000 of taxpayer money for an expert who never worked for the organization, didn't know anything about the Trump organization. So that's how high this vendetta is against Donald Trump and his children.
Great analysis, and I always point out they're looking for $250 million in damages, yet who's claiming the damages? All these banks that, were paid back their loans, and all of the documents had disclaimers on the front. So where's that going to go in the coffers there, perhaps? I do want to get your reaction as we have some other developing stories coming out of Judge Cannon and Judge Chukan. There were two rulings today, ladies, kind of dueling rulings regarding classified evidence. Now, Christina, I know you were a defense counsel with the Marine Corps, so you are very aware of how you handle classified documents. Basically, Chukan sounds like she is not allowing Trump's defense attorneys or him to look at anything. What does Jack Smith want with this ruling today?
Well, it leaves a big question mark over what they're refusing to share with the defense. Basically, there's information that either the defense has asked for or the prosecution at least believes is somehow pertinent to the case. And they have filed a motion under seal that they've discussed with a judge in camera outside the presence of the defense counsel. And the prosecution and now the judge has agreed that the defense doesn't even get to see not just the materials, but they don't even get to see the motion that the prosecution filed. So they have no idea what's been talked about or what's being withheld from them. I'd say that's very serious. I've never seen anything like this. I don't know why there would possibly be a good reason to withhold relevant evidence from the defense.
Putting the former president at a big disadvantage again here with what seems like a legal right to anyone who has evidence against them, a right to see them. It seems so basic at the premise of what the legal system would afford somebody if we do have due process in America.
Yeah.
I wish we had more time. Pam, Christina, thank you both, and come back and see us soon.
Thank you.
Thank you.